I love it. We're giggling already. I just said to you, didn't I? I'll probably start laughing. So, welcome, everyone, to another gorgeous episode of Live Your Best Laugh. I've been so excited about getting you on, Sarah. We have the wonderful Sarah Ridge with us. She is the oh so brilliant founder of the Sisterhood Networking Group, which we will definitely be talking about. So do check it out. Sarah is a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I love that. Just that feels like a juicy phrase, isn't it? And she's a huge supporter of women in business. I can absolutely vouch for that for sure, having been in her world and at her networking. She's an absolute champion of women. But as well as being the founder of Sisterhood Networking Group, she's also the host of the Sisterhood In Session podcast. So she's a seasoned pro. And she also works as a podcast trainer and business coach. She's a bit of a ledge,
Oh, I'll take that.
So it's wonderful to have you on, my darling. Would you like to say hello to everyone listening? And yeah, if there's anything else you'd love to share about yourself, my darling, please share away.
I think you've nailed it quite nicely, quite frankly. Thank you so much. It's such a treat to be here. I've so been looking forward to this as well. We've been in each other's worlds for quite some time now. I'm very grateful for all your kind words about the Sisterhood Networking Group. It is my little baby that started off as a tiny little acorn and now has turned into this massive, great, big, wonderful, fabulous oak tree of a community that I have to pinch myself every time I think about it, talk about it. Just super grateful and very happy to obviously have you a part of it as well.
Oh, thank you, my darling. And when you said oak tree, I was like, no, go the whole freaking forest, love. You know what I mean?
Then.
Because I feel that that's where it's going, definitely from acorn and into oak, but it like the sisterhood is really blossoming. So I'm holding the vision that the forest gets to happen for you,
Thank you.
darling.
Yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, that was playing a bit small, which is not like me, quite frankly.
No. Well, but
Yeah,
an oak to like an acorn to an oak tree is big, right?
yeah.
But your vision is the forest.
My vision is the forest. That is, yes, that's for sure. Yeah, big plans. Actually, the first little offshoot is happening next week with international chats, which has always been in the back of my mind, but I didn't imagine it would happen as quickly as it is. So.
That is, oh my gosh. So you absolutely. So whenever you share about the sisterhood again, claim the forest, right?
I will claim the forest.
If you're going international, then that absolutely is about the forest. Yeah. I love it.
Crazy.
I know that you are super passionate about the sisterhood, but like, would you love to share with us, please, my darling? What is it about the sisterhood that lights you up? The name itself just gives me all the good feels, but like, what is it about the sisterhood that lights you up?
So I think going back to growing up, being a kid, feeling like a square peg in a round hole, I always struggled to make friends, which I find when I talk about it, when I think back to those times, it now seems ridiculous to me that was my experience of it, because I love being in the company of women. I went to an all-girls school in primary, and I went to an all-girls school for senior school as well. So I was just surrounded by girls and women all the time. And I did struggle to find my place, to make friends. So the Sisterhood Networking Group is what I didn't know I needed, I think. I never really, honestly, set out to create a group that has taken the format that it has, but it doesn't surprise me that that's the route that we've ended up going down. So it's a privilege and an honor to be able to hold the space still myself locally for ladies that come along and sit around the table with me a couple of times a month. But obviously now we're a franchise, so there are replications of me happening all over in various places in Essex, in Kent, in Wales, or in lots of different locations now. And you've said it perfectly. The name, definitely, that changed everything. The minute the name landed, it was like the whole format and structure of what we were doing literally happened overnight. It changed in format. I wanted to create a networking group for women, but it's become more than that. It's more about connection, support, looking out for each other, rather than traditional networking groups, which, don't get me wrong, they're great and there is a place for us all, but mine is much more about, hi, my name's so and so and this is what I do, and please buy my stuff or book my course and thank you so much, bye bye. Ours is more about sharing our stories, our passions, our journeys, and then what comes off the back of that is lovely collaborations and the potential for business in lots of different ways. So it's been an absolute treat and a joy.
Yeah. Oh, I love all of that. I firstly, the you created what you didn't realize that you needed, and I
Yeah.
think, when you think about people you're connected with in business, that's like that's so often where something has been birthed, isn't it? Like there's this kind of little piece, and it's like, I want to find this piece. Oh, okay, like it isn't here how I want it, so I'm going to create it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I absolutely love that. And yeah, you're so right with the sisterhood. It's stories,
Yeah.
it's people like just sharing like who they are and what's
Yeah.
going on for them.
And what
And
lights them up,
yeah,
and how they've ended up doing what they're doing now, because they, a lot of the time you start in one place, or maybe you've been in the corporate world and you've hit burnout, and all of a sudden you're reinventing yourself and doing something completely different, or you have a hobby that turns into a job, and that's been your journey. And there's so many incredible women that we all come into contact with who inspire us all on a daily basis. And it's incredible.
yeah, and I think so key for us as entrepreneurs that we have spaces like that, because particularly if you're a solopreneur, you can be very busy doing all the stuff that needs doing. There's a lot of stuff that is all the behind the scenes stuff, and some less exciting and some more exciting, and so you can spend a chunk of time on your own. So having places where you can come and like share a win, share something that's you're really stuck with, just all those like things that naturally come up in life. They come up in business, don't they, all the time. There's
Yeah.
like it's always the way, right? So
Yeah.
having those spaces is like really key, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think being in business, on being a solopreneur, as most of us are, very few of us have teams that are, that are working with us. It's lonely, apart from
Mm,
anything else. Depending on the structure of your business, you might well be seeing clients, going out to see them, or connecting with them online. But even then, you're going back home and having to do all of those jobs that you were just saying. All the different hats that we have to wear. Very often, that involves being at home on your laptop, quite often on your own, in your own space, in your own head. Having to navigate all of these different jobs, and wondering quite a lot of the time what on earth you're doing, and whether or not you can actually do all of these things that you need to do to be a successful business owner, whilst also suffering from crazy imposter syndrome, and then watching what everybody else is doing and thinking, well, she's doing it way better than me. And trying to figure all this stuff out. So being able to sit down with ladies and literally just get it all out and say, oh God, I've had a really shit week and this has happened, or I've had an amazing week, this has happened, or whatever
yeah.
it might be. Just being able to know that you've got that once a month, or however many times a month you want to dip your toe in. It just means everything, I think.
Yeah, and I think, like we're not here to be solo creatures, are we? That's not what we're designed for. So I think for all of us, whether we have businesses and we're looking at networking, or we're, in a job and we want spaces where we can be in community, like it's fundamental to human flourishing to be in community. So
Yeah.
I think, if you're a business owner, definitely things like networking, super supportive. If you like, in a paid employment, think about where you are spending your time with the energies that are around you and other energies you might want to be part of, like curating the people you spend time with. Not always an easy beast, right? Not always an easy
No,
beast,
finding
but
your
but it's
tribe.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And sometimes you think you've found your tribe, and actually, as time goes on, you realize that maybe they're not your tribe after all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, they say you should surround yourself with people that inspire you and support you. And sometimes it takes a little while to figure that out, because
Yeah.
you think that those people that you're spending time with are your biggest cheerleaders, but actually, when it comes down to it, sometimes they're not. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and we're constantly evolving as well. So, whilst like something may be a fit here, then as we progress and things integrate and shift and change, it's like, well, actually, maybe that isn't that right fit anymore. And I think we're probably all guilty of like just doing the same thing because we've done it. And like it's a good thing for us to do, to kind of go, right, okay, where am I spending my time? What am I spending my time doing? Where am I spending my time? Like, what bits feel the fit? Just because we've always done something, doesn't mean that we
We
have to
have
keep
to keep
on.
on doing it
Yeah.
forever and ever. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that's like a boundaries thing, isn't it? Like maybe we've always said yes to this thing and been thinking about the no and haven't quite got there. Maybe it's just like a habitual thing that we don't even think about, or maybe we feel that it has been the right fit and then something changes. It's like
Mm.
the reflection on that is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, yeah, taking time to, yeah, make sure that all of the activities that you're doing are providing what you need emotionally, physically, from a business point of view. Like you said, we can just rinse and repeat a lot of the time. And whilst that's easy, it's easy to, keep repeating those patterns. And sometimes you have to be brave and go, yep, that's not serving me. And I don't
Yeah,
need that in my life anymore, or I don't need that person in my life anymore.
yeah,
And making those decisions, they can be tough. You have to put your big girl pants on sometimes, don't you? And go, right, I can do this. I'm going to do it. And it feels tough at the time, but then afterwards, I think you feel a sense of relief that, said goodbye to, that situation or that person that maybe wasn't serving you in the right way. So,
yeah. I can't remember who shared it. It'll come to me afterwards probably, but the quote is something along that you are the sum of the five people you spend
the
the
most time.
most time with. Can you remember? I can't remember who it is.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's in there somewhere, but I can't retrieve it. But and I think that's such a good kind of indicator, and it doesn't mean kind of like burn everything down with everyone else, but I interviewed a friend of mine, Dirish, in season one, and he had these great titles for his five, which I can't remember, but they really made a lot of sense. That like, so say like maybe one of them was like who goes to for spiritual maintenance, someone else where he goes to when he really needs some cheerleading, someone
Yeah.
else that he goes to when he needs to see like if he's getting in his. Do you know what I mean? I'm really really paraphrasing, but
Yeah. Yeah.
like having
Having
we
a little Rolodex of people that,
I think,
fill your
yeah,
cup up in all the different ways that you
yeah,
need, because we're all different, aren't we? All need different things. So yeah, it's
yeah,
identifying those people and who you need and when. Who do you turn to when, like you said,
yeah.
you need a little bit of a boost in certain areas. You've got those
Yeah,
people.
or some real talk, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's
Have to
really
give you a kick
important.
up the arse when,
Well,
yeah.
kick up the and like I don't know. Do you suffer with this? Like that thing of like I've got an idea. I've got in like it's like ping, 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 ping,
All the
and then it's
time.
like, oh God, slow the fuck down. You said you were doing this thing over here, and you say in your bio you're multi-passionate, and I think it's quite easy for us to be really multi-passionate, isn't it? But sometimes it's like rein it the fuck in. What are you doing?
Yes.
Because you
So
know what I mean. So
my
you
long-suffering
always need
husband.
someone that's going to say to you, hang on, a bit of accountability.
Yeah, my husband is that for me.
Is he?
So he's the person that I spend the most time with, and we are we had personality tests done not long after we got married. We've been married for 22 years now, and I'm not joking. It freaked the hell out of me. This guy that he was working with was just, it was something that he offered, and
Yeah.
he said, do you want to see what your personality types are? And we both went, oh yeah, that'd be interesting. And they came back, and it was the color analysis. So you have a different color for your personality. Don't know if you've ever done it. It's really interesting.
Right.
So I'm a yellow. So I'm very heart-led, very fly by the seat of your pants, very emotional, very, oh my God, it'll be amazing. And then and then my husband is a blue. So
Right.
I think that yellow is as far to the right as you could possibly go. My husband is a blue, which is as far to the left as you can get. He's like analytical, has to have all the facts before he'll make a decision about anything. I mean, we are literally, I said, we're going to have to get divorced. This was about 6 months after we got married. I went, this is never going to work. And we had a very short courtship, as they say. We'd known each other a long time, but we hadn't actually dated for very long before we got engaged and got married. And I remember thinking, I have totally messed this up. What? Oh God, I was so freaked out by it. And actually, but what we've found, because obviously we're still together 22 years later, is that we complement each other really
exactly
well.
what I was going to say. Yeah.
So I make him be a bit more spontaneous and not overthink things so much, and he slows me down. So if I am doing exactly what you just said, going, oh, I'm multi-passionate, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and this is going to be amazing. And he goes, right, just stop a minute. Have you thought about this? And what about this? And let's think about this. I'm like, oh no, don't ruin the fun.
Right. Yeah.
We've got a really good dynamic now.
Oh, I love that. I love that because imagine two yellows, right?
Oh
And
my
then,
God.
like it's,
You'd never
you
get
know,
anything done, would
and
you?
obviously this exists, right? There will be two yellows and two but like you say, you like just really complement each other because you've got this kind of like yay, and then he's like, hold on a sec.
Okay, calm the hell down.
Can we have a little chat about that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. I did really smile when you said you had a quick courtship.
Yeah.
Such a funny word to use, isn't it?
Very old-fashioned, wasn't
I
it?
know, but like a whirlwind.
Dated for a while, but it
Yeah.
wasn't very long.
Yeah, well, so my husband and I, we met, and within 3 months decided to get married, and we'd literally never met each other before that,
Oh my
and
God.
and
I'm
then
fast.
were married within the year, and we celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary this year. So, you know,
You met your lobster.
yeah, I met my lobster, and
Yeah.
God knows what our colour charts would have shared us. And like there was a ton of questions and a ton of things we didn't know about each other. And I think when we decided to get married, I don't think we'd met any family. You know, we just were like, we're freaking doing it.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
It was
Yeah.
meant to be, and it's like it's served us well. So you know.
Oh, I love that too. Yeah, I think, people come into your life at a certain time for a reason. I genuinely believe
Oh,
that. Yeah, yeah.
totally. I feel like I didn't know about manifestation then. I was
So,
20, was I 28? Yeah, 28 when I got married, 27 when I met him, and he was 30. 30 when we met, 31 married. And I didn't start learning about, or I say learning, I didn't start hearing about and um, understanding manifestation until well into my 40s, when about 10 years ago actually, so I'm 53 as we record this. So is when I trained as a relaxed kids coach, and I was then learning about meditation and mindfulness, and sort of law of attraction came into it, and all these things. And I was like, I remember at some point going, fuck, I manifested goo. And it totally, like, it blew, like, because I think we've been invited at some point to look back on your life and see where manifestation has been at play. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so I just looked back a little bit, and then I was like, oh my God,
yeah.
you've been a manifesting mofo for years.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
same with me. All the big life events for me have happened. I definitely believe in fate and the universe, and being in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people. So you could say that that's manifesting in some ways. So Paul and I, we worked together a long time ago. But we hadn't seen each other. We'd gone in different directions. We always liked each other, but we never told each other. And then I'd moved from Essex to London. He'd moved from Dagenham to Westcliff. and we both got on a train to come back from London back home on the same train. And we would try to figure out if our paths would have crossed if we hadn't have got on that train.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a good one, isn't it?
I love it. I love it.
He followed me up the platform and got on the same carriage. It was
Oh,
the old days of the slam door trains, and followed me, and we chatted all the way home. And I remember I was going home to visit my mum and dad. I remember walking in and going, "You're not going to believe who I bumped into." And when I last saw him, I'd been instrumental in setting him up with his fiance. It's a very long story.
right.
They'd split up, and he obviously told me that they weren't together anymore. And I was like, that's it. And then we were dating within, it took a while because we were friends. So
Yeah.
6 months for us to go from friends to dating, but then we were married really fast. But it's a really good story.
Oh, it's a great story, and this is what I love about life as you grow. You have the gift of like growing older. That's a huge gift, but also
Mm,
that thing of like opening to your eyes to like what you can see in life, and that's definitely something that I have explored more and more as I've got older, is opening my eyes to like looking at where the magic is. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? And that is things like, oh my gosh, like I really believe in manifestation now, and I've got more curious about it, and opening my eyes to look back and reflect where that's been
yeah.
happening without me giving it a
Even
name,
realizing it was going
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
And I think the beautiful thing that I have kind of learned um in this, like getting into wellness and then eventually starting my business and stuff, is there's so many things that we can like keep learning about. So having that learning mindset, that like open to discovery, like you can invite like a world of exciting stuff in, right?
yeah. I don't think I say this a lot. You can never know too much.
Yeah.
I'm always signing up for free masterclasses, or seeing who do I need to be following that's going to teach me something I don't already know. You might think you know everything about, certainly as far as business world is concerned, you can feel like, oh well, I've got that down. I know that. I know how to do this. But actually, things are changing and moving all the time. We're growing as human beings. The world is changing. The
Mm,
whole AI thing freaks me out. And yeah, part of me is listening to people saying, you're going to get left behind if you don't embrace it. And then the other part of me is going, I don't want to, don't make me.
right.
And there's so many things, isn't there, to take on board. And yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, I don't think you can ever stop learning.
No, and also I just kind of think, like the power of like a sentence, the power of a conversation, there's like we can shift how we feel and think about things in like micro things quite often. Quite often I think we're feeling it has to be like a really big thing or a really deep learning or a really, do you know what I mean? Whereas actually there's conversations we can have with people that have got a lot to share about whatever their area of expertise is, and like that one sentence
Yeah,
can totally flip things.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I think that openness to like what am I hearing,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and being able to really listen to people, that's a real skill as well. That's something, being a podcaster, you have to listen very carefully, don't you, to what people are saying. And I've got very good at that. Being able to sort of pluck information from what people tell you, because sometimes
Yeah.
they're not, you're having a conversation with someone and you can get so much from it, not just on surface level, but you can go a little bit deeper and pluck things from that conversation that maybe you weren't expecting.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, and I think this is like a great skill for us to really like ripple out wherever, is like that listening, but also being really comfortable with like just pausing
Yeah.
and giving it some thought about what we want to pick out from that, and how we want to respond. I
Yeah.
don't know if you listen to Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, but one of the reasons why I love his podcast is, one, he does long form, and I really enjoy that. I'll like listen to it in bits and bits and bits. But he is like the king of the pause. And there's a real kind of reverence about it, because someone will say something and then it will be completely silent because he's working out what he wants to explore there, whether it's the response that he's like needing to say, or whether it's the question, and I just think it just shows really active listening, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. As human beings, I don't think we like silence, do we? Certainly not in
Yeah,
conversation. If somebody goes quiet, more often than not, you feel the urge to want to fill that gap, don't you? That that
totally.
silence, it can make us a little bit uncomfortable, can't it?
Yeah, well, particularly with those we don't know, right? Like with
But,
our comfy sock people, right? You know what I mean? With the lovely fluffy socks, I think that probably feels less so. But obviously, if someone like generally feels anxious, whatever, it will be heightened. But with with the pop socks, or, or the people that are less, less comfortable with,
yeah,
we do go for the fill, don't we? And when we're
yeah,
going for the fill, we're thinking about what we're going to say, so then we're not
not
actively,
listening. Yeah,
so
it's a,
it's,
it is a
yeah,
real skill for sure.
really is. um I'd love to know, darling, because I know you've mentioned joy earlier, and joy is my jam, and we've talked lots about things that light us up, in lots of our conversations over time, and I know in this episode as well. But as you know, joy is I like super important for me. But what I think is really important as part of the joy journey is, what do we do when joy feels like over here in one direction, whereas we're feeling over here? So I always love to ask guests, what are your kind of things that really help you when joy is a million miles away? Like, what's a tool or a technique which helps you kind of like find Sarah again? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
When like Sarah just feels a bit like, oh, and Joy is like, oh, we all feel like it, we all
yeah.
get these moments. What really supports you, darling?
Um, yeah, I think I talk often with my ladies about, making sure you take care of you, be kind to yourself. Self-care is so important. And sometimes we're very good at, teaching other people how to do that and maybe not not doing it so well ourselves. Um, I I have made I've made a lot of progress, I think, in curating my little world and I say it a lot, I only want things in my life that bring me joy. So I have edited my life quite considerably so that, yeah, I'm surrounded by people that lift me up rather than pull me down. Obviously, the Sisterhood Networking Group is a prime example of that, being surrounded by all these amazing, amazing people. But family is huge for me. I'm very lucky to, obviously be married to Paul, and him being such a great sounding board for me. My two wonderful children who inspire me every day. They are incredible human beings. One is not here as much as I would like anymore because she's at university. But we stay in touch regularly, and yeah, and I'm very lucky, and as much as she says that I'm one of her best friends, which makes me very happy.
Oh,
Yeah, and then my son is 17, and this oracle of knowledge and wisdom way past his tender years. He's a black belt in Kung Fu, so mindset and that kind of thing. It plays a big part in his training. So
mm,
and it's nice now. So if I'm struggling with something, well, normally, or in the past, I would maybe hide that from him, maybe talk to Paul about it, or, talk to my friends about it. But now if he overhears me and Paul discussing something, or I might be struggling with something and he's around, I bounce ideas around with him now. He spouts Tony Robbins at me at
oh, brilliant.
regular, any opportunity he has to chuck a Tony quote in there, and he's there. So My family definitely keep me grounded and sane, but also simple pleasure for me. She's sat asleep by my feet as we speak. Miss Daisy the dog. Um,
Ah.
she is, yeah, she's my reason to get out of the house every day because, as we've said, being in business, you can get very hemmed in. If you're working from home, it's, you can spend an entire day working on stuff on a computer, and then by the time you're finished, it's dark. And so having Daisy gives me a reason to get out of the house every day. And I keep my phone on silent. I don't listen to podcasts or music. I really try and be present and in the moment and appreciating everything that's around me, and a bit of gratitude because there's lots to be grateful for, and I try and remember all of those things as often as I can.
Oh, I love all that you shared, and I think um, knowing that you have like people that you can just go to and share when stuff is feeling super challenging or joy feels like somewhere over there, is so helpful, isn't it? Because instead of kind of shoving down, which we can be really really good at as humans because we're often very good at managing all the things, so instead of like shoving that down, which never serves us, like it's allowing it, isn't it? Allow yourself to be supported. And if you're a very kind of resilient, strong person, and I know a ton of women like that, and men too, but particularly like women juggling all the things, uh, we can step away from being supported, can't
Yeah.
we? And just like because we're used to doing the thing, and actually, you know, if you can allow yourself to be supported through the thing, then the thing gets to work through quicker, in my experience. So I love that you shared
Yeah,
that connection.
I'm also very grateful for all of the amazing women that I've met since starting my business. I have enjoyed, so you being one of them. I mean, laughter yoga. If you'd have said to Sarah 3 years ago that that is what she would be doing, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
Because I could never, genuinely, all these wonderful treatments and modalities and classes and workshops that I have been introduced to, courtesy of what I now do, has just been the cherry on the top of a very beautiful cake. And I am
Mm,
grateful. I would never have met these women, had these incredible ladies in my life, if it wasn't for that, and had the chance to try all these different things on for size. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm not the same person that I was 3 years ago. And actually, talking about my husband, that's been a challenge for us as a couple, because he's literally watching me change before his very eyes.
Yeah.
But for me, it's I'm off to a sound bath, darling. He's like, you're off to a what now?
Yeah.
All these different things that I'm now dipping my toe into. Yeah, it's taken some adjustment. It has been a bit of a bumpy ride for the last sort of 12 months or so. While we figure out the new dynamic of our relationship, and he's very much in the corporate world. And obviously I'm more spiritual now than I've ever been. So navigating that it's been tricky at times, but we
Yeah.
are so strong as a couple, and fundamentally our morals, the things that we like, our sense of humor, all the things that are fundamentals for a great relationship, they're all still there. It's just all the
Mm.
other stuff that we've had to kind of figure out as we go along.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I so get that. I'm not the person that I was 10 years ago. I'm not the person that I was 5 years ago. I'm not the person that I was 2 or 3 years ago. And even in the last 18 months. I just think when we've decided that we're going in this kind of spiritual path, then like things will shift and we will start to look at the world differently. And then that means our kind of, I don't know, like our perspective on certain things might be a bit different, or the way that we go about our day might be a bit different. Like
Yeah.
you're like I I start my days completely differently to how I used to. My days have a completely different flow and feel to how they were when I was in teacher world. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, so people around you, I would say that's true for me, for family, friends, for everything actually, have had to kind of, relearn like the newer iteration, if you like. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, trying to sort of, yeah, re-establish your relationship when you know that fundamentally you're not the same person that you were.
Mm,
And it's not like you wake up one day and go, right, I'm completely different now. It's this sort of gradual transition
yeah.
that takes a little bit of getting used to. Me getting used to the new person that I now am, and then having a husband who's a little bit like a deer in the headlights, going, "Who am I married to? Who is this woman?" Um, but fair play to him. He has it's not his style at all, all the things that I enjoy now. Although he is talking about going to a yoga retreat, like literally last night. So I know I
It
never saw that
filters.
coming.
Honestly, it ripples down,
It
Sarah.
does
It
eventually.
does.
Yeah. I mean, I would never have thought I'd have heard him say those words to me, but he did.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
But that's because you've shone a light on something, and he obviously is seeing that then like have an impact on you, because
yeah,
everything we do, which is, good for our well-being, it's never just physical, it's never just mental. It's like it's the whole shebang, isn't it? It's
yeah,
mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. It delivers in every area, typically, I feel. So if someone you love and who loves you is seeing that, then like reflecting out of you, that is going to nudge you to get a bit curious, isn't it?
yeah, and seeing the positive impact that it's had
Yeah.
in so many different ways. I think if you're spending that amount of time with somebody, it can't not eventually start to have an effect on you, rub off on you. I mean, you can resist it for for as
Yeah.
long as you want, but eventually it's going to come. It's going to
Not
come
going
and get
away.
you.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. And and this is, I love what you shared as well, going back to what you shared about when joy feels a million miles away. Because I know you shared like there's all these modalities and things, and they are amazing. But I think my big shift point I love people to get to is that actually the pieces you can do for yourself are like, and they can be as simple as like taking your dog for a walk, right? And like you said, like phone on silent,
Yeah.
just, perhaps you're in a wood, yeah, perhaps you're listening to birds, or just smiling at people as you walk by, or just watching your dog like trundle along. And if you don't have a dog, just looking, right? Look, like Mother Nature, like she delivers to us every time.
Right.
And I think like it is great to go to a class, or book a weekend away doing something retreaty, or but they all like they're bigger things typically, right?
Mm.
And they're someone else kind of facilitating. And I think the more we can self-facilitate, the more we can self-deliver, then
Yeah.
actually we get reminded that we are in charge of our own joy, of our own inner peace, of our own emotional balance, and we can find it in little things like,
Mm.
a walk in the woods, or, putting our feet on the grass and having a cup of tea, or, like sharing what's coming out, and like just, allowing the release of it. And I
Mm.
think there's so many ways, and I think we can get caught up in the we're only going to be okay if we go and do this thing. But the more we can self-serve,
Yeah.
like, I think, the easier our lives
Lots of
get to
little things
feel.
that you can do to, to pick yourself up if you are feeling a little bit low. But also one thing I have relied on more and more in recent years is that we have the power to choose. And you can choose how your day plays out. You can choose to be affected by external things that possibly might bring you down, piss you off, make you upset, or you can choose to be happy. You can choose not to let those things get to you. You can choose not to have a rubbish day. You can literally go, right, I that's just going to bounce off me, and I choose to be happy today. I'm not going to choose to be affected by whatever it might be that's trying to bring you down. And yeah, whenever I have had tough times, and there have been tough times, that's kind of been a mantra that I've said in my head: happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. You choose how your day plays out.
Yeah, and wasn't it Viktor Frankl, who was an Auschwitz survivor? And I'm going to paraphrase because I don't know if I've got the exact sentence, but basically he shared about it, like it's your response to the situation, which is everything, you know,
Yeah,
and that is what kept him. I don't even know if I was going to say kept him sane. I don't, but kept him like able to manage the
yeah,
absolutely horrific things that were going on around him and to him. He controlled his response, and I think he said, "Oh no, that was Edith Eger again, another Auschwitz survivor," and she said the prisoners, the real prisoners, were the guards,
yes,
you know. And
yeah.
and again it's just it like and I
Reframing things.
yeah, and I just think if two people that have been through like absolutely harrowing, like for like, I mean, even though we all know a lot about it, it really still is unimaginable
Yeah,
unless you've really been there, isn't it?
yeah.
And those two people, there's an amazing podcast with Edith Eger and Rongan Chatterjee. I'm sure she's been on many people's, but like honestly, if like you say, we can then choose even when we're in the shit of it, you know,
Yeah.
because like none of these conversations that I'm having with anyone is about, yeah, joy, unicorns, let's bounce around. Like, because it's not true. That's not life. That's not realness. But this
Yeah.
is about, you know, like how can we maximize how we feel about our time on this planet? How can we feel as grateful as we can about this gift of a
Mhm.
life,
Yeah.
even when X, Y, and Z is happening, which it will, you know. And I think there's so much learnings from people like that who've been in the most horrific of times and that can say, oh, you know, it's how you respond to it is everything. And I that's how well, not how, that's what I often come back to with
Yeah.
things. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Managing your response to situations that you can't control. And also, my husband's a worrier. He worries about everything, like every tiny little thing, but he worries before he needs to worry. So, you know, when you can't control an outcome, what is
Yeah,
the point in worrying about it? You know, it
yeah,
will play out in the way that it's going to. You worrying about how that's going to happen. You know, unless, you know, there are certain things that probably you do need to, you potentially do need to worry about, but little things, you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
are we going to get somewhere on time, or what's the traffic going to be like? And then obsessing about, you know, what route you need to take. So we'll get there when we get there.
yeah. Well, I often say, you know, what we don't know, right? So
Yeah,
like why are we like presupposing and yeah, yeah. I think perhaps he needs a yoga retreat, darling.
I think he does. I think he does. This is why he's married to me, you see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, I feel like this is a perfect point for us to have some laughter, darling.
yeah,
Would you love some
I
laughter
would.
breaths? I always love to share laughter breaths because you know I'm really passionate about laughter being
I
a
do.
hugely resourceful tool for us to use for our own well-being. So much like I was saying, you know, instead of kind of having to go here for this thing, we can use ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And also it's good for like when we're having conversations where we've covered loads of things and you know some of them might be quite deep things, we can like it's our way of shifting the shit. Like laughter is just
Laugh it all
such
out.
such an amazing gift. So all we're
Yeah,
going to do, darling, we're going to breathe in and then when we
yeah.
breathe out we're just going to let our laughter flow. I peaked too soon.
Yeah.
I know, I can't, it's so ingrained now, like my body starts responding as soon as I start talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's take a breath in and then exhaling.
Your laugh is so infectious as well. It's the
Oh,
best laugh ever.
let's go again. Breathe in. big exhale. Ah. Oh, let's go one more. Breath in and exhaling.
My jaw is aching.
That, but like we've done that for, I mean, what was that? 60 seconds?
Yeah.
And I, I feel the same. My cheeks feel activated.
Yes.
Okay? And so,
Yeah.
like, for anyone listening, like, notice what your body is saying to you. If your body's kind of like reacting in a joyful way, if you joined in with this, I invite you to go and look at your eyes. People's eyes change.
Yeah.
Even like looking at us now on Zoom, I can see that
Yeah.
our eyes have gone ping,
All lit up and gorgeous.
really lit up, and so just taking a moment when, say, life is feeling a bit roller coaster and all over the place, like the breath is powerful. Laughter and the breath is like it's 10x,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
so often we will just shut down or whatever, which is totally understandable when things are big and heavy. But if we can just find a pocket, find a space to like breathe into ourselves and release some laughter, we can create such shifts in our lives. It's like
It's
it's
very powerful, isn't it? And
it's really
lovely
powerful.
way.
Oh, thank you for doing that, darling. Right.
Oh,
So to wrap up, I don't always ask this question, but I've been asking it a bit more recently because it really excites me. And actually on my last one I interviewed, oh God, it was juicy. So I would love to know, and it's tricky.
oh God. Okay, go on, hit me with it.
But you're the woman for it. You'll deliver, I know you will. But what's one thing that you feel has helped you get to where you are right now? If you had to choose one thing, and if that's really tricky, you can break the rules, right? Because there's no rules. But if it does one thing ping that's helped you to get to like the Sarah that you are right here, right now.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing's tricky.
Mm,
Resilience, I think.
yeah.
And not quitting, because if we're talking from a business point of view, I don't like the word failure, because I don't think we fail at anything. We just learn something new and then we take it to the next thing that we do. I have worn so many different hats in terms of different things that I've tried, businesses that I've launched that haven't quite worked out, people that I've met that I thought were going to be a really positive influence in my life and then weren't. So, yeah, being able to take it on the chin, learn something from it, and then take it forward into whatever it is that I do next. I think that would be probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I hope you're bloody proud of yourself because of it, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
people say that to me a lot. You must be so proud. And I always bat it away really fast and go, yeah.
Receive. No,
Yeah,
receive.
we're not very good, are we, acknowledging that? Well, traditionally, I'm maybe a tiny bit better than I used to be. I do try more now to sit with what I've created, what's happening around me, rather than being Mrs. 100 miles an hour, foot to the floor. What's next? What's next? What's next?
Yeah.
Just trying to be in that moment. And appreciating it and being grateful for where I am right now, rather than thinking where I want to be in the future.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, there's lots of gold in all of that. But you said about like taking the compliment, like we're learners, right? We're
Yeah,
so like learning to be proud of and reflecting on that, and that getting more comfortable. And you say in a business sense, but I really think most of the time, whatever has kind of like served us in business, we've probably been doing that in our personal life
yeah,
too, so like
yeah, agree.
resilience and not giving up, like they're
Yeah,
two like
yeah,
huge things
yeah.
that
We do go hand in hand for sure.
yeah,
So I've had to have resilience in relationships as well. The not quitting thing, it's definitely in my DNA for sure.
yeah, so like having like a ton of love for Sarah that's got, and all the versions of Sarah that have got you to there now is like a beautiful thing to have, isn't it? So I think,
Yeah.
you know, like you say, people can bat away the things, but I think always giving ourselves a ton of love for everything we've done along the way, even the wonky bits, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
In
because they
fact,
show you the
they're the
perfect.
bits that need the most love, aren't they?
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. Yeah.
and like, and recognizing, going, bloody hell, you know, like my resilience has got me to here, my determination has got me to here, and you know, and actually loving who we are right here, right now, not someone that we were hoping to be in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
That's when our whole world shifts, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree.
You
Yeah,
know.
it is a journey. Yeah, a crazy ride, but yeah, loving every second of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, darling, you have been an absolute delight to chat to. I knew we would have the most delicious conversation.
Thank you so much.
Um,
It's been brilliant.
oh,
I've loved it.
oh, it's been amazing. So, yeah. So, do you want to just, obviously, I'll put like links and stuff in the show notes, but anything you want to share as we wrap up, and
Oh,
perhaps directing where people want to find you, or anything you've got coming up that people might get excited about, just whatever you want to share, my darling.
so yeah, so there really are the sort of four ways that you can get involved with the Sisterhood Networking Group now. So in-person meetings, predominantly in Essex, but as I've said, in other locations. So if you go to the sisterhoodnetworkinggroup.com, you can find out where we are. If there's not one near you, then we should chat.
They could be a franchisee, couldn't
You
they?
could be a franchisee. We are a franchise after all, and I just want every town should have a Sisterhood Networking Group. That is my mission. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would love to bring it to wherever you are in the world if there isn't one. We network online though, because as nice as it is to be in person, and that, you know, that really does fill me up. There is also a place to connect people in the virtual world as well, and reach outside of your immediate network. So we do that once a month. Then obviously there's the podcast, Sisterhood in Session, available via all your favorite podcast hangouts or via the website. And then once a year, I have my in-person live event. It's always the first week in November, where I take the podcast on the road and I recreate some of my episodes live for an audience. We have breakout room sessions, networking, yummy lunch, and then normally go off and do something crazy afterwards. We did karaoke last year, so that was really good fun. So yeah, lots and lots. There's more to come, I'm sure. We're always growing, things adding to the mix. So who knows?
I have no doubt there's more to come. Oh, thank you so much for sharing all that, my darling. And
No,
anyone listening, please do go and give Sarah a follow in the links that I share. She loves a chat, as you
I
know.
do have a
So
chat.
I know her DMs are open. If anything that she's shared, you've gone, oh, that sounds interesting, whatever. So yeah,
Yeah,
drop her a
always
note,
happy
say
to hear
hi.
from anyone. Yeah.
But yeah, it has been an absolute joy to talk to you, my darling. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
pleasure. Thanks for having me.